Hi, I'm Kristen Oaks-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week.
Well, even though it's past Easter, many folks are still craving crawfish. Prices have come down a bit, and with the weather being so nice, crawfish boils are happening all over.
As Twila's Neil Melanson shows us, Bieber Farms in Mamou is one of the many producers providing that crawfish, but with their own processing facility, they're making sure you can enjoy that taste all year long.
If you've been enjoying crawfish in this beautiful spring weather this year, this is one of the places that it comes from. Bieber Farms has more than 2,200 acres of crawfish and rice near Mamou. Cody Bieber says they're still hard at work bringing them in.
The demand's been good up until Easter. It's slowed down some, and the weather's been bad on the weekend, so it slowed the sales down also. And the prices come down considerably because the demand is not as high.
Bieber Farms doesn't just grow the crawfish, they also process them. Their on-site facility brings in the crawfish to their warehouse sack by sack. The sacks are then dumped into a steamer where a conveyor belt takes them on through. After they're boiled, they're then dumped into a cooling vat and conveyed then into the peeling room. Now here, some of these ladies peel as much as 9 pounds of raw meat an hour that produces about 200 to 250,000 pounds of crawfish meat a year. Of course, all of that takes a lot of labor.
We employ 80 H-2B workers, which is very important that we keep H-2B workers. We also employ about 26 H-2A workers, which those are the ones that actually go out and do the crawfishing and stuff. The H-2B workers is the ones that do the processing. It's getting pretty tight on the H-2B side with the cap. It would really help if the returning workers wouldn't count against the cap and we could get our workers pretty easy.
One thing that does make life easier for Bieber is the EQIP program through the Natural Resources Conservation Service. With this public-private partnership, he's able to keep water on his fields longer. That means he's spending less money pumping.
If it wouldn't be for EQIP and the leveling and putting in the pipe drops and putting in the underground pipe, we wouldn't be able to farm as many acres as we're farming right now.
Not to mention, every interior levee on his farm has pipes through those levees. He doesn't use rice irrigation curtains at all. Everything drains through those pipes, and he's able to maintain a level of water in his crawfish fields or his rice fields for as much as possible through evaporation and stuff during the year.
That leaves more time for Bieber to focus on his delivery business, which brings crawfish to 4 different states. That's a lot of happy faces, but of course the proof is in the, well, ponds.
Of course, the tough part of the job is tasting the final product. This is all part of this job, I want you guys to know, making sure that this is quality crawfish. I'd love to bring you guys back some, but I'm here hard at work making sure that Bieber Farms is producing the quality crawfish. They've generously decided to do a cook-off for us. So, reporting for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, strictly, I'm Neil Melanson.
Y'all, if Neil were here, rest assured that I would wring his neck for that. Those crawfish did look good, and I'm glad we can at least still get them from Bieber Farms.
Speaking of getting your own crawfish, Twila's Carl Wiggers found a select catch in Abbeville. Alan and Aaron McLean are growing a great future and great crawfish from their ponds to your platter.
My name's Alan McLean. I'm a rice farmer, soybean, and crawfish farmer in Vermilion Parish. I am a person that cares for the land. I enjoy what I do. We feed local communities.
He does that with a business that he and his wife Erin began called Pro Boil.
Pro Boil is another one of my side jobs that I do with my crawfish. We do on-site catering. We specialize in crawfish and shrimp.
Their favorite customers right down the road in their own community in Abbeville, Louisiana.
My name is David Bertrand, and I'm a co-owner of Shucks Restaurant in Abbeville, Louisiana.
The bond that we've formed over the past few years has been probably one of the neatest things that I've ever had to do.
Alan brought his first crop into the restaurant, and he said, "What do you think about these?" And I'm like, "Alan, if you can supply this kind of product, we're going to be doing some business together."
It's very gratifying. I mean, you'll go in and people will be like, "Oh, these are terrific, these are great," knowing that you supplied them a product that they just cannot get enough of. These crawfish came out of a pond, or just, look, we can sum it down to these few traps some days. And it's one of those things that it's very rewarding.
When I tell people this crawfish, you're going to have a hard time finding something of this quality, I don't back down from that statement, because the proof's in the pudding. I mean, it's on every tray that comes out of our kitchen.
You don't have to hang around the farm for long to realize that this is not the Alan McLean show.
It's a family ordeal, because when he comes in, if he's not there, then his wife's there, Erin's there. If she's and with them accompanies the 3 kids or 2 kids or whatever kids hanging around.
She's out boiling sometimes whenever I'm having a boil or to go somewhere else or deal with the farm with the rice. I know she's always there helping as much as she can. My wife is the backbone of this. She just helps in every way.
Bringing them a port, or bringing them lunch, or picking up crawfish from them.
From the commodity prices to the weather to the unknowns of what's going to break next, or high prices of everything else.
The stress of having to worry about the amount of money that you put into your crop and your product, are you going to receive comparable to that back?
That's why the relationship between the McLeans and Shucks Restaurant is so perfect. Bertrand and his business partner Bert East are able to offer quality crawfish to their customers, and Alan and Erin can add a steady revenue stream to their new business.
Consistency is the key, and this allows us that consistency. This relationship allows us that consistency.
It's a relief just to know that you have other things coming in, and not to rely on a commodity that we put so much into.
Alan and Erin started ProBoil 3 years ago, and they've really been enjoying the new growth in their business. Since then, they've gotten to travel as far west as Colorado and as far east as Washington, D.C. to cater some large events. And you guys, I didn't travel to D.C. or to Colorado to get some of their crawfish. I got it right there in Abbeville at Shucks. And you guys...
That place is a staple.
Oh my gosh.
Shucks is an absolute staple in Abbeville. I mean, it's one really cool place for starters, but I bet those crawfish had to be good.
Oh my gosh, we had the typical tray, and you know, you can usually fill it up with a good couple pounds, and every single crawfish on my tray were selects. They were huge. I kid you not, and I was raised in North Louisiana. We didn't eat crawfish every weekend, like some down here seem to, but if I got to eat crawfish like that, I would eat it every day if I could. The meat that came out of those tails were like my thumb.
Yeah.
And they
What
were
about the
huge.
claws?
Claws were great. Every crawfish had great claws to eat.
You know those good crawfish when they have a lot of meat in the claws.
And Alan actually taught me some tricks to get it, because I've always been terrible with claws. But he taught me
Leaving the
some
meat
tricks.
inside.
Yeah, I can't do that.
No.
I got it now.
You got it down? Well, welcome to our world. Thank you very much, Carl Wiggers.
Well, if you're wanting to boil out this weekend, the crawfish are plentiful. Prices have come down since last week, with most places below $3 per pound, and live crawfish is even cheaper. In Shreveport, you can get them at Bergeron's, Boudin, and Specialty Meats for $3.75 per pound boiled. Live, they're $2.25. In Lake Charles, Boulette's Boil and Go has them below $3 a pound for boiled. Live, they're $1.49 a pound, and some places in that area even have them for less.
In Hammond, we found a great deal. Miller's Mart is selling them for $2.59 a pound boiled. Live crawfish there, $1.09 per pound. As always, you can check the Crawfish app for the prices in your area, and make sure you check them on Thursday or Friday when most retailers set their prices for the weekend.
The 2018 Farm Bill is now in the House of Representatives. This week, the House Agriculture Committee began the markup of the bill, which is where members debate, amend, and rewrite proposed legislation.
And what a heated markup it was. The Wednesday morning meeting began with the Democrats on the committee expressing their displeasure at not being involved in the writing of the bill. Louisiana Farm Bureau National Affairs Director Kyle McCann says the commodity portions of the bill are adequate to protect the country's food security. But that's not the part of the bill that's the target of debate. About 80% of the spending from the Farm Bill is for nutrition programs, better known as SNAP. The Farm Bill, as presented to the House Ag Committee, includes work requirements for people who receive SNAP benefits. Louisiana 5th District Congressman Ralph Abraham is the only member of the state's delegation to sit on the House Agriculture Committee. He says, unlike previous farm bills, this one will be on the president's desk on time.
Well, unfortunately, in the last 3 to 4 weeks, the Democrats on the Agriculture Committee on the House, and I think the Senate side too, have pulled back simply because leadership on the Democrat side has told them that they must resist everything Trump, so to speak. Their goal, as we all know, is to try to retake the House in 2018.
When the 2014 Farm Bill passed the House, it came out as two separate bills, one for the farm programs and the other one for nutrition programs. The U.S. Senate reunited the bills. As of now, the 2018 Farm Bill is a single document. We'll be following closely the changes and votes that Congress should make. Heralded as a premier farm-to-table event, Dinner in the Field is a showcase of culinary skill and the bounty of local agriculture.
Twila's AJ Sabine shows us how Dinner in the Field raises awareness of farm-to-table as well as sustainable slow food systems that enrich school-aged children.
Farm-to-table chefs start their prep at the James Grace House in Plaquemine for Dinner in the Field 2018. Sponsored by Slow Food Baton Rouge, this event raises awareness of local food systems, says event organizer Carl Motzenbacher.
The real core of the slow food movement is good local food systems. So supporting local food systems, supporting our local farmers. And so today we actually have 4 farm families that are going to be partaking of the dinner that we have.
Those farmers include Iverstein Farms Butcher, T-Moy's Farms, and Fullness Farms, among others, who provided many of the ingredients for Dinner in the Field. Just ask T-Moy's Farms manager, Monica Hernandez.
At the farm, we strongly believe on providing the best quality pasture-raised pork and produce that people can eat healthy. Farm to table is what we strongly believe.
Slow food events like Dinner in the Field inspire young chefs like Sydney Harkins, who, along with her colleagues, volunteered to cook for this premier event.
So I remember whenever Slow Food first started, or the Dinner in the Field first started, in I think 2009 it was. I was still in school at the time, and it to me was just kind of like all of the moguls of the industry were up there and making food for everybody. So it kind of felt like that it showcased all of like the food celebrities of Baton Rouge. And so I honestly never thought that I would be considered to participate. So the fact that they even asked me to was such a huge honor. And I never in any world would have said no.
Dinner in the Field raises money to get local, sustainable food systems in area schools. Teacher and Slow Food Baton Rouge volunteer Nita Johnson explains the value of this remarkable event.
I like it because the kids get an opportunity to experience agriculture, to experience being outside, and to experience getting your hands dirty with a purpose, because they learn about different foods that sometimes they don't know where a potato comes from except for Winn-Dixie.
Proceeds from Dinner in the Field go to Baton Rouge's only comprehensive farm-to-school program, Growing Healthy Baton Rouge. For more information about Slow Food Baton Rouge, log on to our website at twilatv.org. Well, 3 generations, 2%, and 58. The average American is now at least 3 generations removed from the farm. Only 2% of Americans are farmers, and 58 is the average age of most farmers.
That's why the LSU Ag Center hosts Ag Magic to teach our youth about agriculture and the environment, and the important role each plays in our daily lives.
Well, I'm Frankie Gould. I'm the Director of Communications for the LSU Ag Center. And we've been putting on this Ag Magic event in Parker Coliseum on the LSU campus for 15 years. And it gives people an opportunity, especially youth, to learn where their food and fiber comes from. It's very interactive. You can touch and feel, take things home with you, educational materials. You learn about 4-H, the forest, aquaculture, plants, animals, bugs, and nutrition.
My favorite part about Ag Magic is most definitely seeing the kids when they come through at the beginning, how excited they are and the emotion that they bring, and actually watching them go through each exhibit and seeing their faces in all about the different aspects of agriculture and everything that we have to offer in Louisiana. What draws kids to this event most definitely has to be the learning aspect of it. Not a lot of kids nowadays don't get to see everyday agriculture firsthand. And I think Ag Magic does a wonderful job bringing agriculture to the people. And one way is by having different areas throughout Ag Magic and kids, the hands-on learning experience that they get to have.
If this looks like an event that you'd like to be a part of, and believe me, if you have children, you want to take them there and you'll have fun too, adults. Ag Magic will happen again next month in the New Orleans area. Ag Magic on the River will happen from May 8th through the 12th. May 12th will be the day that it is open to the public. For more information or to register your school group, you can visit our website at twilatv.org. Still to come on Twila, protecting pollinators, helping bees help us. New research at LSU is aimed at stopping the varroa mite.
But first, we learn how using cover crops on sugarcane is bringing some sweet rewards. Stay with us.
I now hope they're fighting today.
I hope they are.
Find your place in the country and the lender who can get you there. Find Louisiana Land Bank. Financing for country homes, recreational property, farms and ranches, and agribusiness.
Before you sweeten your morning joe, before the icing on the cake, before the sugar hits the shelf. It begins with a family of sugarcane farmers dedicated to growing Louisiana for more than 220 years. The Sugarcane Growers of Louisiana, making life sweeter, naturally.
Sugarcane, sweet sugarcane.
Farming is my way of life. I chose this career, but farming chose me.
A lot of people ask you what you do, and I tell them I'm a farmer.
I'm a cattleman.
I am a fisherman.
I'm a scientist.
I'm a steward of the land.
I am a farm woman.
I am Farm Bureau.
I am Farm Bureau.
I am Farm Bureau.
I am Farm Bureau.
I'm a Farm Bureau.
Louisiana oysters, salty, sweet, and delicious. But have you ever thought about what happens to all those oyster shells? Most of them end up in trash cans and landfills. The Coalition to Restore Coastal Louisiana is changing this with its oyster shell recycling program, and you can help by visiting these participating restaurants. It's a simple and delicious way to restore our coast. The shells will then be used to sustain and rebuild oyster reefs. Remember, once you shuck them, don't just chuck them.
Avery, you know how sweet the sugar industry is to Louisiana. It brings in about $2 billion a year, according to the American Sugarcane League.
It's a crop that is unlike any other in the state. When you plant it, you harvest that same crop for 3 years, and you harvest it long after everything else is cut. But with the help of the Natural Resources Conservation Service, sugarcane farmers are now using winter cover crops and seeing sweet rewards.
I know we've used the line about a farmer outstanding in his field and shown you pictures like this of a farmer standing in his field. But Al Laney really is outstanding, at least according to Natural Resources Conservation Service District Conservationist Kayla Hebert.
The landowners like Mr. Al make our job easier, you know, being open-minded like he is and trying different practices or different things on his farm to manage it.
You see, Laney is working with the NRCS on residue management, which is just a fancy way of saying he leaves the leftover leaves and stalks from his sugarcane crop on his field to decompose. He's also working with them on cover crops.
We used the Killis radish, the vetch, and
Austrian winter peas.
Here are pictures of Laney's sugarcane field with a cover crop.
Y'all work across the road right here too, or no?
NRCS resource soil scientist Brandon Waltman is impressed with what he sees.
You're on the forefront in your field of sugarcane farming. I don't know how many farmers are really doing this.
Digging into the dirt, Waltman takes a closer look at the potential a winter cover crop can unlock.
Yeah, you can kind of see where the roots want to come in and slide up against there. Then kind of hitting that clay pan right there. But again, over time, through the management system that you're putting in, it should break up parts of this clay pan and allow some of these roots to tap into the nutrients that are down there.
Unlocked nutrients means Laney can use less fertilizer on this field. That's a direct savings, which means he can invest more in his cover crop.
This year when we plant, we're going to try to plant it, because when I was in Lafayette Parish, we planted beans in the fallow ground, and it helped the cane when we planted the cane.
As you just saw, the practices they're using down in St. Mary Parish are making a difference. If you would like to see how the NRCS can help you on your farm or land, visit our website at twilatv.org. And Kristen, the NRCS can even get you money to help pay for those conservation projects and improvements. So, it'll save you money in the long term to do it, and you get payments to help out in the first place.
Well, that's something that every sugar farmer would like to hear. Well, bees play a crucial role in pollinating many plants, including some important agricultural crops. However, as Twila's Craig Gotro shows us, mites are a major concern for beekeepers. That's why researchers with the LSU Ag Center are looking at ways to help identify these pests.
Spring is the time of year for bees to be busy pollinating flowers and making sweet honey. But nationally, bees are experiencing a reduction in numbers, with the exact cause not yet known. One potential reason for their collapse could be diseases spread by mites.
The biggest concern we have, not just them losing their juices to these mites, but these mites can transmit a deformed wing virus. Doesn't let them fly anymore. So it can kill the bees really quickly because you no longer have bees that are able to forage for food.
It is important for beekeepers to monitor their colonies for any mite infestations, especially when the weather is cold.
So they can kill them, especially if you have really high mite numbers going into the winter season. Your bees are much less likely to overwinter successfully and actually can die off pretty quickly.
While bees are not a major crop pollinator in Louisiana when compared to other states such as California, they do serve as a pollinator for some fruit crops and provide opportunities for those who want to become beekeepers.
They do help a lot of local production, so if you have like local strawberries and other local berries, that helps. But a lot of people really enjoy keeping bees for the honey production and also to sell bees to other people who are interested in getting into beekeeping.
Another reason beekeepers need to maintain the health of their hives is to help prevent their bees from cross-contaminating other colonies.
In a typical year, Louisiana honey production is between 2 and 3 million pounds with a gross farm value of $4 to $5 million. Still to come on Twila, we've had some wild weather in Louisiana, but ranchers in Oklahoma have been facing a rash of wildfires.
Next on Trending on Twila, we'll take a look at some wild spring weather. Stay with us.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Landowners are minding the Louisiana forest for our grandchildren. A place for wildlife, recreation, lumber for homes. It's the right thing to do. Forestry, covering half our state, all of our hearts.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Look, he's watching.
In this week's Trending on Twila segment, we take you online to see what people are talking about on social media.
And it's shaping up to be a wild spring filled with fire and ice. From a devastating blizzard in one part of the country to devastating wildfires in another, both occurring simultaneously, Mother Nature has taken a toll on farmers and ranchers across the nation.
Winter Storm Xanto shattered April snowfall records in the Midwest and dumped more than 30 inches of snow on some parts of Wisconsin. The harsh spring blizzard hit many ranches in the peak of their calving season. Plateau Cattle Company tweeted, "Another heavy snowstorm upon us this morning. Hope our calves and fellow ranchers make it through yet another one."
The Riding Rancher shared this post on Facebook. "Tonight we quit. Not because we wanted to, because we had no choice. The blowing snow and dark made safely locating newborn calves impossible. As I drove out of the last calving pasture, I cried, said a prayer, rubbed the calf on my lap, and wished the girls good luck. Our life is hard to understand, especially if you have no experience with raising livestock full time. But we really do give all we can to taking good care of God's creatures, and we appreciate your prayers."
In western Oklahoma, large wildfires continue to burn more than 400,000 acres, and that number continues to grow by the day, killing livestock, damaging hundreds of structures, and forcing thousands to evacuate.
CBS News posted, "In some places the fire is spreading a mile every 8 to 12 minutes. Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin has issued a state of emergency in 52 counties across the state."
People have also posted photos and videos of the wildfires burning through acres upon acres of farmland. On Facebook, Tamara Provines shared this video she created with photos from friends and family of the wildfires in Oklahoma.
The ranchers and cattlemen in these areas desperately need hay. The Oklahoma Cattlemen's Foundation and the Oklahoma State University Extension Service set up relief funds where they are accepting hay donations. If you would like to donate hay or learn more about ways you can assist the wildfire victims, we posted those links on our website. And Avery, it just seems like a broken record. We had this last year with the wildfires, and we haven't had the kind of devastation, certainly with the blizzards or the wildfires in Louisiana, but it has been a wild spring. I mean, I've never seen it this cold this late in the season.
It's, you know, what I think of whenever they start these hay donations. We had our call to action following the floods in 2016, and we've just got to help out again. I know that we had this experience last year. If you can, please give. These are farmers and ranchers who really need it and could use your help.
And like we always say, the times of worst with natural disasters bring out the best in this community, because everybody, whether it's a hurricane, a flood, or wildfire, it seems like the ag community reaches to help others around them. So, wonderful thing. Well, that does it for this edition of Twila. Be sure to join us next week when we'll see a worldwide cattle sale originating right here in Louisiana.
Until then, you can watch all of our stories at twilatv.org, and be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
For all of us here at Twila, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.